Welcome to my Quote of the Day series. I start my live content with a quote and a story about why it's important to me in the moment. I share my experiences in case it may help someone else on their journey. You never know when someone might need the message you share today. I also want to thank you for spending time with me, for subscribing if you choose, and sharing your stories too. So my quote of the night is, positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. And that's from Zig Ziglar. And sometimes I feel like I pick a quote of the night and it's like, well, duh. And yeah, but just because it's a cliche or it's a duh or like it seems super obvious does not mean it feels that way in practice. Does not mean that in the moment you need that little tidbit that you're going to habitually respond in this fashion. Obviously, negative thoughts get us all at some point in time. Whether or not we stay there for extended periods of times, whether or not we go there frequently, whether or not it's major efforts to shift to something positive, it's kind of irrelevant. Everyone at some point or another is going to have a negative moment, a negative thought, and having just this, this isn't going to help you. This isn't going to fix it. This isn't going to actually make things better. More than a positive quote, more than a positive attitude, more than a positive thought. But it really does help you get through the crappy crap, the bullshit from your everyday existence. And part of the reason I wanted to pick it was because sometimes we need that duh reminder. I do. And part of it was because I'm starting to get into a weird zone in my brain where I feel like it's going to be hibernate mode. It's going to be kind of like recharge mode. It's going to be don't overextend yourself mode. And then there's also almost this like frantic need to like jump on any moment of inspiration or just like surge of energy and just like do something with it. And that's dangerous game because it might just be a small burst or it might actually, stay with me for a while. I'm feeling different than I usually do this time of year. I'm usually expecting to be really subdued by now. And so there's part of me that's like really nervous about like getting super jazzed. That whole Sims thing earlier that I was like, oh, I'm going to do a Sims stream on a whim. Who the hell am I? But like, maybe a 15 to 30 more minutes of just figuring it out, and I might have been able to pull it off. But, I have that creeping doubt still, and I try and, like, damper it with, like, okay, we'll go back to the basics. Like, that's why I picked Dreamlight Valley in the end, because I was like, okay, this is the basics. I know how to do this. But, like, this morning, and was it yesterday, too? I actually got some content creation stuff done. I went in and did all of my chapters for all of my previous streams that I hadn't gotten to yet, probably like 6 or 7 of them. I was like, holy crap. But it's not a hard process. So I did all of that. I got all of my live streams updated with some chapters because I don't take out my starting and my ending and my break. And I don't take any of that stuff out when I just leave it on my YouTube. But I like to put the chapters in case someone does want to watch it and does realize that the chapters are there, because that way they can just skip a lot of the bullshit. Like the bullshit we're doing right now. And I felt really good about it. And then this morning, because I had gotten 2 more quotes of the day set up, scheduled. So last Saturday's and this Tuesday's, because I'm behind, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2 a week until I get caught up. And then this morning, I was like, okay, I'm going to set up for Saturday's quote of the day post video. And I'm going to document the process of how to get it done. Like I'm going to say, this is how I clip it. This is where I put it in my folders. This is where the assets are. This is where all of this stuff is. And this is how you load it in. And then these are all the settings for the YouTube. And so I have a Word document now that in case I forget a step or I'm like, okay, I just want to double check my checklist, it's done now. And that's something I hate doing. I hate documenting process, but it's really valuable. And it's something I'm gearing up to do at work. And so I was like, oh no, it's another one of those moments where my hobby, my fun stuff is going to translate into teaching me how to do it for work. Yet again, it's something that's just kind of like, you got to deal with this woman. And it's like, oh, but it's applicable to your professional side of things too. So there's that. It's not the only process documentation I want to do, but it is going to be something I am doing now. So it's a starting point. And that made me feel really good. Like I felt really positive about doing that, even though it was tedious and even though, you know, there's more to be fleshed out in it. You know, I got through it. And because I was doing it at the same time, I was actually processing the video. So I was like, okay, this is this step. And then I would do it. And I was like, oh, I forgot to put that in the process. And then I got it all done. So now that's already scheduled for Saturday. It's only one more because I was doing all the other stuff. But now, you know, A, writing it down makes it stick in my brain better. But B, if I ever feel like I'm stumbling through the process, I have documentation. I can just go to that and refer to it. And I did that for myself. And it'll help me get better at it. It's good practice because that is only for me. But the process documentation at work is going to be for other people. You know, it's going to be my legacy. Anyway, that made me feel like such a dork to say, my professional legacy. But then at work today, I got through some more stuff and some stuff that I had been putting off or been like, I need to do this one little thing and I need to do this other little thing and I need to make sure I can do all the things instead of just part of the things. All of it's delay tactics. All of it's an excuse to keep procrastinating. All of it is a way to not have to actually address the thing. So yes, I did more of that today, but I actually was like, okay, now it's all set. So tomorrow, there is no excuse. It's already ready to go. It's already on a cart. There's already a list of stuff. There's already cleaned out tools. Like everything is set to go. And I have tomorrow and Saturday to just do the work. And I left work feeling really good about it and like acknowledging the positive attitude towards it because I'm like, this is the headspace you need to have to deal with the things. Because if you start overthinking and you start procrastinating and you start coming up with all the reasons why you don't need to move on to the next step, then that's going to eventually lead to a stressful situation. Maybe not a negative thought process situation, but at least a stressful because I'm going to have to quick and do it all at the end. And now I don't have to, like, if I just go in tomorrow and I go in on Saturday and take advantage of the setup I gave myself today and some setup I did over the last couple of weeks, then it won't all be for naught. And I can reap the benefits of that positive next foot forward kind of thing. So anyway, just thinking about that, like I always do. Thanks for dropping in. If you want to hang out, I stream live on Twitch and YouTube Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. I'll see you next time.